Hey guys, Dan Williams here from Range of Motion Business Mentoring. Thanks for joining us for this free webinar for Perth Fitness Professionals. This is how to create video content if you are terrified of creating video content. What I'll do, I will give it just a moment for those of you who are joining us live to jump onto the feed. Those of you who are watching this on replay, which I know will be most of you, excuse the rambling for 30 seconds or so while we wait for people to jump onto the feed. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who have jumped on already, again, we are talking today about how to create video content for non-video content people who are scared of creating video. I just want to make this as simple as possible. The motivation or the impetus for putting this out, we had the Perth Fitness Business Summit 2.5 weeks ago now. Such a good event, great people there, amazing, confident people, put a camera or a phone in front of them and they just froze. They weren't sure how to even start to create some content. So what I thought I'd do is make this as simple as possible for you guys, take it right back down to baseline level and give you the real introduction on how to create video content. Why is this so important? Firstly, let me start by saying I'm not a videographer. Everything that I'm teaching you now is stuff that I've just learned through my own trial and error, more error than trial. Again, it's just me making mistakes. Hopefully what I can do is tell you the results of all these mistakes, what I've learned from it, and you don't need to make those same mistakes yourselves. So why creating content first? We'll go through this super briefly. Effectively, what you're trying to do, you are trying to communicate to your current clients and also to potential future clients that you are an authority in a certain field. So work out who it is you're trying to help. Work out what their pain points are, the things that keep them up at night, the things that worry them. Work out, and then as soon as you've got that, those are your content creation topics. That's what you're going to be talking about. What happens is your clients, your potential clients will see the information you're putting out. They will say, wow, Dan really knows a lot about XYZ. It seems like he's speaking to me. He knows what my problems are. He knows how to solve them. And then hopefully when they do need a service that is similar to yours, you are the first person that they will think of. So that's why we create video content. So I would like to run you through just a bit of a list, a bit of an overview of how to get started, the best way to go. And I'll give you a couple of different options. So firstly, all of this is done just using your phone. I have an iPhone X, but this can be done on Android or anything else. The first thing I would recommend is whatever your content topic is, that is one of the pain points of your avatars, you're going to write an article on that. Writing an article on this is a good way to not only start to solidify what the order of your video is going to be. It acts as a bit of a script, even though we're not reading from the script. It does that, but it also just provides another piece of content that you can put out there. This can live as a blog on your website. It can go on Facebook, just post it natively onto Facebook. You can post it in groups. It can go on your LinkedIn page, whatever. So it's content that you have that you've created. Now we're actually going to use that content to leverage that and turn it into some videos. So if you're super confident, you've written your article, you know your content back to front, you just talk to the camera. You just go with no notes and it's something that you know because you talk about it every day. Now, chances are if you're watching this video, that's not going to work for you. You'll make mistakes, you'll get frustrated, you won't like it, and you'll miss words, you'll miss concepts, you'll lose your train of thought. So that's a good way to go. If you're doing live videos, you have to do it that way. If that doesn't work for you, the next step down on this continuum would be basically to get like one of those sticky notes, like a Post-it note. And instead of writing on the front of the Post-it note, turn the notepad over, right on the back. So here's your Post-it note, here's your little sticky bit here, and you've written maybe half a dozen key points in terms of what you're going to be talking about. You then take that Post-it note and stick it on the back of your phone. So as your phone is looking at you, you can just glance up and see what you're going to be talking about. So just a good tip if you are doing a live video and you want to be able to refer to notes without having to keep referring to notes, it's a really good way to do it. But probably the way that is going to be best, again, if you're watching this video, the way that's going to be best for you is what I do if I am talking about something which is a little more complex. So I'm talking about something which is a little bit more detailed, there's a lot more to it, and I need to follow a very certain paragraph structure or a very certain, this is the intro, then we get to this, then this is the conclusion. Or maybe if I'm referencing research articles. So what I will do is I will basically have the blog here that I've written on my laptop. So you can see this is actually a video that I'm going to be creating today. The massive motivation mistake you're making when trying to build habits. Okay, so what I will do is I will take this blog and I will sit my laptop either in shot in front of me or out of shot. So here I am, I'm going to be talking to the camera. I'll talk about camera setup and stuff in a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look down at my blog and I'm going to read the first sentence, the first paragraph, etc. So I'm going to open up the camera app. I will hit record. So it's now recording. This is not a live video or anything. This is just going to save it to your camera roll, to your camera, to your phone. So I will then look at the blog. Okay, I've sort of memorized. I know what I'm talking about in the first couple of sentences. Then I'll look back at the camera. I'll pause for a moment. You'll understand why in a second. So there's one massive glaring problem that a lot of people make when they're trying to build habits. And it's a problem that people just like you are making every day. Then I pause awkwardly, keep looking at the camera for a moment again. You'll understand why in a moment. Look back. Read the next couple of sentences. Remember what I'm going to be talking about there. Look back at the camera, pause awkwardly for a moment. And the big problem is people plan their habits, they plan their future goals when they are motivated. Think about it. It's the start of a new year. You're motivated to make a change and you set some big goals. Or you've just had a really good sleep, work's going amazing, you're eating well, you set some good goals. And then you pause awkwardly, you look back to your notes, and you keep doing that until you've worked your way through the article. So what you basically end up with is a video that you have that is 2 to 12 minutes long with you talking and then you stopping and looking at your notes. You talking, you stopping and looking at your notes. You then take that video off your phone and you chuck it in whatever video editing software you're going to use. I'm, again, super boring, super basic, so I just use iMovie, which for those of you who aren't Apple users is just your standard stock video editing software that comes with whatever you have. There's an equivalent version on a PC. The equivalent Windows versions will just come with your computer. So I drop it into there. I have this video file of me talking and then looking away, talking, looking away. Make sure you can see the sound waves. So you'll have the video there as you upload it into your editing software, and then the sound waves below. And what you'll see is the sound waves will be all crazy when you're talking, and then flat as you're looking at your notes. Crazy as you're talking, flat as you're looking at your notes. Of course, if you make a mistake as you're doing it, you can just restart that paragraph again. So you then edit this down. Here's you talking, you stop talking, and as soon as you finish that last syllable, so as soon as you see your mouth closed, at the end of a sentence or a paragraph that you've just spoken to the camera, you make a cut. And then as soon as your mouth is about to open, that bit, you make another cut. You get rid of the blank space, the white space in the middle there. And what you end up with is a series of these little clips which flow and which just snap quickly from one to the next, from one to the next. It looks like you've done this beautiful 8-minute piece, faultless, no mistakes, no mispronounced words. You've absolutely nailed it. But of course, you haven't, you've cheated, you've checked your notes in between. It keeps you on task, it keeps you talking about what you want to be talking about, and it actually ends up looking really good. If you want to check out what these look like, most of the videos that I put out, either on our Instagram pages for Range of Motion, which is just at range_of_motion, Range of Motion Business Mentoring, at rom_business_mentoring, at ROM Individualized Programming, or at ROM Nutrition Coaching. So those 4, you can have a look and you can get an idea of how this actually looks. It actually looks pretty good, and it's what people sort of expect in this sort of generation of Amazon, fast delivery, fast return, fast turnover, just these bite-sized audio bites that actually works really well. Okay, So that is how I would actually film it. It's a really good way for you to go from being completely freaked out by the video to having a bit of a safety net, and if you mess it up, you just cut that out as you're editing it. So really good way to go. Let's talk lighting and framing for a moment. Now, my lighting's never perfect on the stuff I do. I've got a nice big open window here. Look, if you can just get natural light, you can have lights and stuff set up, but this is just a basic intro, so I wouldn't worry about that. Just try and do it somewhere with nice natural light, get some sunlight coming through the window. Even better, do it outside with some nice green trees and stuff behind you and the light filtering through the leaves. But light is really key. If you can get the lighting right, it comes across as at least looking half professional. Framing, how do you frame your video? So what you'll see is, this is obviously filmed in landscape, which is always how you should film, unless you're only going to be using this for Instagram or Facebook. But we're going to be leveraging this video content in multiple different ways. So you can see I'm in the middle third. So here is the side third. Here is another side third. I'm in the middle third. So what's going to happen when you go to edit this video, to change the size of it, to put it, for example, into an Instagram story, Instagram TV rather, it's basically going to be cut like that, because that's what your phone looks like. So all of this beautiful stuff out here, you're going to lose. If I'm framed like this and I'm talking to the camera like this, that middle third is just going to be my head, which no one wants to see. So make sure you're back far enough that you can go boom there, and it's going to be nice and clean. You can then upload this to YouTube. You can resize this for Instagram and Facebook. If you're not sure about how to resize and any of the editing stuff after this, drop a comment below and I will let you know how that sort of stuff works as well. So that's your lighting and framing. Equipment, what should you be using? Well, again, I'm filming now off my phone, and this is the front-facing camera or the rear-facing camera. I forget which is which. The camera that's pointing at me so I can see myself talking on the screen here. The quality of that camera is not as good, so if I'm filming a more professional video, again, as professional as you can get with your iPhone, I'll always use the rear-facing camera on the other side around there. You can change the settings and film it in 4K, 24 frames per second. Now, it means that the file you're going to be getting out of that is going to be bigger, but I would highly recommend you do that. It's just going to look crisper, and it does mean that if you want to cut in and zoom in as you start to do edits, it's going to retain some good quality as you do that. So film in 4K, 24 frames per second. Again, if you're not sure how to do that, drop a comment below. Microphone, so you don't have to use a microphone. Again, filming off your phone is absolutely fine. Use that microphone. This isn't studio quality production that we're looking for. But what I use, so you can see I'm wearing a lav mic here. So this is what I've got just clipped onto my shirt. And this is just a lav mic or a lapel mic. This particular one is made by Rode, R-O-D-E. The mic I use for podcasting as well is also a Rode mic. Really good stuff, very good quality. But look, you can pick up something like this off Amazon or from JB Hi-Fi or whatever for like easily under $50. I've basically got the cable, runs down my t-shirt. I've then actually got, I did get an extension for this, which you can see I'm not using all of, but this is feeding up my t-shirt. And then I've got one of those headphone jack to lightning port connectors. If you've got a headphone jack on your phone, cool, easy, but most don't now. This is just so I can be right back. I've got plenty of room. If I'm filming from far away, it's not going to be a problem. You can get wireless mics, but again, probably a little too advanced for what we're talking about here. A tripod is good. I'm not actually using a tripod at the moment. You guys at the moment are sitting on top of a marble table, which on top of that has my daughter's pink toy box, and then you're leaning against a book, and I'm pointing you at me because my big tripod is not here. My little tripod I wanted to use as a demo for you guys. Boom, just this sort of thing, super simple. It lives in my backpack that I carry with me everywhere. Normally there's a little adapter thing here that I can just clip my phone onto. Cool, easy, good to go. You don't need a tripod, do it handheld or balance it on your daughter's toy box, that's fine. Gimbal, Again, a little more advanced, but if you want to get a bit fancy with it, these gimbals are just so cool. So like you can pick up one of these. This is a DJI Osmo, and a gimbal is, it basically just, once you clip your phone in, it just keeps it nice and balanced and level, and you can move all this around. There's like a gyroscopic thing going on, so it's just beautifully positioned all the time. So under 150 bucks, a gimbal comes with your little carry case and stuff. So this is part of my everyday carry as well in my backpack. There's a little tripod that you can screw onto the bottom of it. Cool. So this is the DJI Osmo Mobile 3, I believe. I think the 4 has just come out. The only difference that I know of is the 4 has a thing where you can magnetically clip your phone in or something. Anyway, again, under 150 bucks, you absolutely don't need this, but they're cool. They're good for capturing footage of clients and stuff as well, where it looks nice and smooth and not like you're just holding your phone in your hand. Not that there's a problem with that. Super quick point on editing, guys. If you are editing together videos, I already talked about using stuff like iMovie or whatever, just whatever basic video editing software comes with your computer. I also use a piece of software called Kapwing, Kapwing, which is good for captions. Once you've uploaded your video to YouTube, I'm sort of glossing over this because this isn't the real sort of key of this webinar. But once you've uploaded your video to YouTube, use a service called rev.com, rev.com. It's about $1 or $1.25 US per minute to get captions taken off your YouTube video. Those captions get sent to you. You then use kapwing.com, Kapwing.com. You can do video editing. And again, if you check out some of the videos that I put out, that's where you can put some text and you put your captions down the bottom, and maybe you have like a flex emoji or something in there. So anyway, you can do all that sort of stuff. If you're interested in the editing side of things, again, drop a comment below, guys, or shoot me a private message, and I'll see if I can help you out with that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let me do a super quick rehash of what we've just been talking about. Why content? Because it sets you up as an expert and the authority in a certain field. We talked about the different options of how you can actually create that content. Do you just talk to the camera? Do you go with a post-it note idea? Or do you do that cheeky little look at my notes, talk, and then edit out the gaps? We talked about lighting. Natural light is best. Don't overcomplicate it. We talked about framing. Make sure you're in the middle third so we can repurpose that video for multiple different things. Equipment. Using just a phone is absolutely fine. If you want to get fancier, a tripod, a mic, a gimbal, if you choose, but honestly, don't overthink it. Your phone is really good. And then just some basic editing stuff. You can then get that video out all over the place. It is Facebook, it's Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Instagram, TV, obviously on YouTube. So all over the place. The same thing with the article that you've written. Guys, I hope that is of some use and there's some stuff in there that you can take away. As with anything, if you want to get better at squats, you do more squats. You want to get better at push-ups, you do more push-ups. You want to get better at creating videos, you create more videos. So guys, hope this has helped. Get out there, practice, have a go. If you want to do one and send it through to me, I can take a quick look at it. Absolutely fine. As Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn, says, if you're not embarrassed in 12 months by the product that you launched today, you've waited too long to launch. So stop waiting, get out there, create something, and start positioning yourself as the expert in this space.